What's going on, guys? You already know who it is. It is me, Ezel, and my wife,
Yelsa.
and welcome to our reaction channel, the Ezel's Reacts. Now, we are back. Been missing for a minute, but you know,
long minute.
Yeah, a long minute, but you know what? We had to take a mental health break, so we're back, and we're switching things up a little bit. We're actually gonna start looking into things that are actually happening. You know, things that interest us. You know. And we do the movies. We still do some movie trailers here and there, but we really we talk about this a lot, actually, personally, about rent and inflation,
everything
and
that's going
things,
on in the economy right now, basically.
So actually on TikTok, people are talking about it. So we're gonna check this out, this compilation, which is done by the YouTube channel Informative. So shout out to them. Let me see, make sure that's the right one. Yep, Informative. So check them out. But let's check this out. We actually start on the second video here. We actually, this is our second time trying to shoot this first part here. So we actually start on the second video, but never mind that. Let's get straight into it, and we're gonna give you our comments and thoughts on this topic. So let's go.
This tent city isn't in LA or San Francisco. It's not even in Sydney. This is along a 1.5 kilometre stretch of the Brisbane River, and when I went down there this morning, I counted 29 tents in this 1.5 kilometre section. Now, about 5 years ago, I wrote an article titled The CEO Pike Out, which criticised the CEO sleep out, and along this 3.1 kilometre stretch, I found 5 tents with people who I interviewed. Australia, the housing crisis is real, and we need radical action right now.
Wait.
That's crazy. Yeah, she said Australia. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, why does this look like the same? If you guys don't know, if you come to Atlanta, it's like bad.
Yeah,
you go downtown.
The homeless population. It's a large homeless population.
Yeah, under the bridges. Yes. We've been here so long now. We're pretty much numb to it. But it's there's like I want to say it's a tent city, but there's like areas like here and there throughout downtown where you'll see it, and it's a big problem. Not the homeless people aren't the problem, just saying like homelessness.
Yeah, the fact that it's even happening in the first place.
Just some transparency,
and even more.
We've been there, so
right.
It's. To see this going on in another country lets you know, like, economy wise, like, things are heating up.
Yeah, but I also kind of wonder what was their homeless population like before in Australia. I mean, we don't really hear too much about it.
It's like something that insinuate, like, that shows that it's actually gotten worse.
Yes.
Like, it's not just. I think that's the whole point of her video, is saying, hey, it's gotten worse. I've never been to Australia.
I've never been either, so I can't really say. Yeah.
I don't know. Let's keep watching.
It is borderline impossible because rent is meant to be 25% of your pay. On Centrelink, it is 75% of your pay.
We've come to a park in the centre of Melbourne where people are gathering to talk about how hard it is to be a renter in this city.
Looked at maybe 30 places over the span of a few weeks and did not get a response from a single real estate agent.
There are people here who are full-time workers and are spending at least half what they earn on their rent.
I think that currently it's 50% of my income, which is not sustainable, and that is why I'm constantly looking for more casual jobs.
I'm working 2.5 jobs just to make it, and a couple of my other friends in the house are always also working multiple jobs.
There's no quick fix, but Tenants Victoria says the government has to intervene to cap rents and increase housing stock as soon as possible.
I have some quality issues with the house, but I'm hesitant to even bring them up because I don't want to be on the bad side of the landlord.
The front door has stopped closing properly. It doesn't lock anymore, so we now have to enter through the back of the house.
It is a landlord's market right now, and governments are caring more about property investors than they are about renters.
This just sounds so familiar, and it mirrors what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm realizing this must be an Australian compilation. I mean, we'll find out by the third video, but
I mean, it says TikTok rant, so that's why I'm like, would it be just Australia?
I mean, it depends on if Informative is from Australia or not.
That's
but
true.
that guy that said his door didn't close, I think that's what he said. He said his door didn't close.
Yeah.
This is why it really helps to be like handy, like to just have those skills, because what it's going to come down to is you're either going to have the money to fix it or you're not. So
Right.
the more you can do for yourself, the better off. And like our grandparents and our grandparents and our great grandparents that had to go through the Great Depression, a lot of them could sew.
Yeah,
A lot of them could cook.
Yeah,
A lot of them could
very self-sustainable.
but
were
they
able
had to
do
be.
that. Yeah,
They had to be. And
but
I
that's
think
how society was back then. Not just during the Great Depression, but before that, a lot of them knew how to do
Yeah.
that. A lot of them had land and was out on the farmland doing all of that.
But like, you know what? The problem now is people don't know how to do a lot of those things. But the good part is you can find out and teach yourself here on YouTube University. You can just type in, something. How do I do this? How do I do that? People are learning how to fix their cars. People are learning how to cook. People are learning how to sew, how to do construction work on their own. Are you going to be a master like a professional? Probably not. But you can save a few bucks,
Yes.
more than a few bucks,
More than a
and if
few.
you do it long enough, I'm sure you could become pretty proficient in it. So that's just a silver lining in this depressing compilation. Let's keep going. What else do we have?
I just want to vent as a social worker about the landlord requirements, specifically for apartments, studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, etc., where they're asking people, actually just studios and 1 bedrooms. I don't understand why you need to have 3 times the rent for a studio or 1 bedroom.
Right.
Is it just in case of what? I just need to hear it. I know it's probably something logical from the property owning standpoint. I am a property owner. I do understand that. And if I were to leave this home and rent it out, I want people to have an income. When they used to say 2 times the rent, that used to be doable. When I had my first apartment, I moved into my first apartment, they wanted me to have 2 times the rent. Well, 2 times that particular rent was $1,095. And that was a realistic request for my income at that time. Now, fast forward, it's 2023, and I've switched back on my career and have gone back into mental health as a therapist, and working on my hours, almost there. Give me a few months because that test is not easy. So I hear. Anyway, my current income, I don't qualify for some of these 1 bedrooms. I'm barely making it on the, on the requirement. I have it, but my money don't go to rent all month. So why would I need to have 3 times that when, whether I have 3 times this rent or not, if I have 3 times it, okay, you think that means you're going to get paid every month? It doesn't mean that. Hardship happens whether you have 3 times the rent or not. But if you were asking people to pay $1,600 for a studio apartment and you want them to have 3 times that in order to move in,
It's just unrealistic.
I think that needs to be cut back. I mean, at least go back to 2 times the rent. Make it possible. Make it possible. It is what it is. You can't force parents to keep their young adults in their homes longer. You can't, young people just starting out, even when they're working and trying to go to school, they don't have 3 times the rent because they don't have 3 times the rent time as far as working is concerned. They're trying to go to college. They're trying to go to vocational school. They're trying to work too. They're inexperienced. They don't qualify.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there because she's talking for a minute. But 3 times the rent, 3 times the rent. So like, yeah, it used to be 2 times the rent. Now it's 3 times the rent.
I understand it has to do with rising prices, but that is unrealistic. It really is.
Many people.
Especially for a studio apartment.
Wait,
not a
that's
regular,
a studio?
Yes, a studio.
Oh, why did I miss? Wow. Next, you're gonna need 4 times the rent for a closet. Like, it's just gonna get.
It's already
more
happening
and more
in some
ridiculous.
places, darn near. But
I was laughing earlier because she was like, she was trying to process Why do you actually need 3 times the rent? She was trying to make it make sense. I think the reason why they want 3 times the rent is obviously, we're talking about inflation. Like, you're trying to preserve that same amount of value, monetary value. So what was, I don't want to do math on this channel. I don't want to make y'all heads hurt. But, like, okay, back in the early 2000s, $5 back then would be like, let's say, 15, 20 bucks today, right?
Okay.
That value and amount of things that you could purchase with that $5 would be like having $20 today. So if they're talking about rent and they're like, yeah, we're gonna need 3 times because 2 times isn't enough anymore, because whatever that amount that was 2 times the rent, that total has gone down in value as well. So it's like, it's just, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
I guess I was seeing it as far
literally,
as,
I wasn't joking. It can go to 4 and 5 times rent.
I guess I was seeing it as far as what's going on in the economy, where people now, I guess they would need much more money to get everything that they need. So maybe these apartment complex people are thinking, okay, we only need people at a certain bracket to come in. Otherwise, if they are on the lower end and they're not able to pay at least close to 3 times the amount, then we may lose them as a tenant. Don't they lose money that way?
I'm not gonna lie, I just zoned out for a hot second. I might have.
I'm just
Did
saying,
y'all catch that? Because I'm a little tired.
Maybe I'm ranting for no reason.
They got to have that money.
That's what I'm saying.
But let's keep going. Hopefully how long is she talking? Oh, she talking for
my
good?
goodness.
Yeah, we're just gonna because we know y'all don't have a long
Let's
attention
go to the
span.
next person.
Y'all have already probably clicked off this video. Let's get on to the next one here though, and see what they're talking about. I'm sure this rant is justified though. Justifiable. All right, let's see.
Hi TikTok. Just haven't checked in for a while. Things are crazy. Trying to find a place by December 1st or November 30th.
Ooh.
We have 3 people on disability and dependent. So we have about, the boys get about $1,300 a month, and I get a little more because I have a dependent. So we can each pay about $1,000 a month, and then I can cover the bills. So we go to this one place, a 4-bedroom for $3,000, right? Sounds good. Lady sounds nice. We go there. She wants us to pay the water bill. Please do not think that I'm talking about the hydro. I am completely set to pay hydro and Fortis, but the water bill is supposed to be, in my opinion, paid by the owner of the house, and they have been trying to put this onto renters, even though it's like, if you were a renter, you wouldn't even be able to get that bill in your name. Okay, you'd have to like get it in the landlord's name or the owner's name. Like, that's how not for us it's supposed to be. And then she says that if the appliances break down due to past tenants bagging on her appliances, she wants us to help pay half to replace the appliances. So I'm going to spend 50 to 60% of my income on rent alone. The boys are going to be spending 80% of their money on income alone, plus the water bill, and plus the other bills, of course. And now she wants us to help her buy new appliances. Well, telling us, a homeowner telling us that times are tough. Okay? This really gets me, okay? Like, seriously? Seriously, like, you want me to make my first appliance that I ever get to buy that's over $50 and I'm buying you an appliance. All for the ability to live in your house. It shook all of us. We just are, that someone would want so much from poor people and to try and do this. I really hope that I find a place for us, for the 4 of us. And I really hope that we're not going to be homeless. And I really hope that we find a kind landlord out there somewhere that wants to make money, but also give a shit about the people they're renting to. We're not all dollar signs. We're human beings. It really pisses me off. It grinds my gears. really, makes me mad. Okay? I mean, we just want to pay rent like everyone. And then you want to tell us when we're allowed to be up. We're not allowed to smoke anywhere on the property. Like, we have to walk down the block to go have a smoke. We're not allowed to have pets. Okay, well, pets pee on carpets. So if you have carpets, fair enough. Okay? But I mean...
Wait,
it just
what?
ends abruptly like that?
Okay. Still, shout out to
Okay.
Informative for that compilation. So what I was gonna say about that one right there was her needing to take a smoke is her way of releasing stress.
Yes.
So if she can't do that, if she can't, I don't know, whatever all the other rules and stipulations that they have to abide by to live there, I guess people explode. Like they need some form, they need some way to release that stress. And then on top of that, that's what I want to say. So hopefully he's not gonna watch this. I have a friend that is a multiple homeowner, and you know, she said when she was talking, the woman just recently, she was like, us poor folks. Now my friend, I'm not gonna say he's not poor, but what I'm saying is people seldom do not think about the entrepreneur, like what they're going through, like their side of it.
You're talking
like,
about the landlord.
Okay. Right? He's the entrepreneur, right?
Right.
He's maybe he has that house, maybe he has 2 other homes, and they just assume he's rich just because he has these homes. And it's like the reality is very, very different, right? So she's assuming there's a reason why he's or she, whoever the landlord is so strict, right? They're not wanting them to mess up. That could be their only property. The only other property that they may be living in they might be living in a hotel, who knows, and they're renting out their house. Like, you don't know what the landlord's position is.
Right.
Is he a landlord who has 30, 40, 50 homes? Or is he a landlord that's just starting out and only been doing this for a few years? And so he needs to make sure that he gets his money on time, and inflation has affected them as well. So that's why they're going up on rent. And I mean, it's across the board, and it's kind of hard to point the finger at anybody and just be like, you're gouging. Now, some people are gouging. Some people are price gouging. There are definitely people taking advantage of that and saying it's inflation when it's actually
But there's
not.
a lot more people hurting than doing that. In fact, there's really what's going on is like the big division between, the rich and the poor is just becoming wider and wider and wider. And some people realize it. Some people may see or may lump landlords and other people like that into the rich section, not realizing that they don't even fall into that category.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to end this compilation off on a sour note, right? I always want to try to give some examples of like, how do you get out of this situation, right? If inflation is bad, inflation seems to be getting worse, and 2024, we don't know what to expect with inflation, right? But I would lean towards the side of, hey, it's probably going to get even worse. So what can you do? I'm telling you right now, the first thing that you have to do is have the correct mindset. Mindset is everything. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like whatever your situation is. If you're watching this, if you have any free time, is it possible that you can make free time? Maybe cut something out of your schedule. And I've already seen the meme where they're like, I cut everything out of my schedule and still don't have to. Like, I cut off Netflix. I'm not paying. I only got my bare necessities and I still can't make it. Yeah. What am I going to do? If there is anything you can do, and I mean, really sit down and be realistic with yourself. I need to learn a new skill. What skills pay the highest amount? How quickly can I learn these skills? And how quickly can I apply them? I am not a financial advisor, but You might want to look in stocks. You might want to look in, if computers, or you're not a computer person, then you might want to look into things like land. What was it? I think I just recently learned about it. It was land, like they're purchasing like the title to the land and then holding it for a certain amount of time,
like
and then flipping it.
this is the first time I'm hearing this from you.
No. I told you about them. Matter of fact, we can do this right now. Check
we're doing
out
that, I'm gonna
the,
take a
what
big
is the name of them?
break. Having some tea.
Is it? It's like the land, the property, not the Property Brothers. Gosh, guys, you know what? I hate that I didn't think about this before we started filming, but there's a YouTube channel where there's two black guys, and they go around teaching people how to do this. I'll probably, after the video, look for it in the description. I'll have a link to their channel in the description. But there's things that you can do. My thing is, don't give up hope, because once you give up hope, you might as well throw your entire self in the trash can. It's over with.
Yeah.
You have to keep pressing forward. As much as I feel all the people here, and we have felt inflation as well, you have to keep a positive mindset. We already know what happens when you get the negative mindset. It's over with. So logically speaking, doesn't it make more sense to hold on to hope, and not just hope, actually put some effort into that hope, actually push, look, read, look for information to get out of your situation, versus just, you're so frustrated, and I get it, you're venting, but dude, you can't give up. You can't. So YouTube, especially if you're watching this video, you got no excuses. If you got the time to watch this video, you also have the time to research what I'm saying and change your scenario. The question is, how much time and effort are you willing to put into that? You were saying?
I was going to say that's true, but when you said time and effort, that's also questionable, because they could be working 2 or 3 jobs or 4 jobs.
Right.
They may not have time to even look.
Get this. When I used to work at Amazon at one time, and you know what people would be doing while they're on a conveyor belt moving packages? They'd have an iPod earpiece in their ear.
Oh,
now
so
they're
you're
listening
saying
to rap music, hip hop, or whatever, and they're vibing while they're
to an informational
and all
podcast
that. I don't even think they were supposed to be
something.
doing that, but they could have been listening to a podcast. See what I'm saying? They could have been listening
That's
to
something. Yeah.
an hour-long, 3-hour-long conversation.
But you're
that had
talking about
information
that
in it.
one.
I know
scenario,
every scenario.
A majority, like, and maybe you could get away with it at an office job, but in jobs like retail or like the food industry, you can't do that while you're at work.
Right.
Unless it's, you just
There's
can't
another
do
scenario.
that.
You're
Yeah.
driving to work. Maybe it's a 30-minute commute. It's an hour commute.
And we used
what
to
are you
do
spending
that.
that time
we would
doing?
listen to podcasts.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's little increments of time that can be, things can be pushed into those slots where I got this much time. Let me listen to something. And you just take little mini steps towards that exit, right? Because you're trying to exit the rat race. You're trying to figure out things. Some people aren't, even with that, what I'm saying, they still aren't going to have the ability to get out of it. That's the reality of it. But I believe that there's more people that have the ability to get out of it and don't believe they do, but can actually, if they apply themselves, get out of it. Then there are people that no matter what they do, they're just not going to get out of it. It's like impossible, right? And so there's a lot of other people, there's a lot more people on the internet are watching this. They can get out of this situation right now, but they haven't applied themselves, and they're basically succumbing to just the pleasures of life, just trying to, escapism.
Well, what if they were to say to you they've tried everything?
But I get
what you're saying.
That's for those people. Yeah, that's for those people. So it is what it is. But we want to know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Let us know. Is this affecting you? I know it is. So let us know how it's affecting you. If you want to share that. And if you have any creative ways for people to escape the 9 to 5 or get ahead and maybe save on groceries, or maybe, you know, just put them in a better position to weather the storm. Leave those comments in the comment section down below.
Please do.
And see you in the next video.